love on the south side, yeah, that's right. Reppin' Inglewood, got my hustle tight. From Chi-Town streets where the wind blows, fierce, built up like steel, can't nobody pierce.
Hey, this your girl D-Love from the South Side, Inglewood for life, Chicago, that is. And sorry, I didn't have time to. I just left the casino. And I know I ain't gonna get too many people in here tonight, but I appreciate all who come through, and on the replay. I appreciate you so much. I really wanted to go over the WVON interview. I hadn't had a chance to listen to it, but I did listen to part of it. Let me say this. I didn't listen to all of the interview. Hey, you won. Appreciate you here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. So I said, you know what? I know I'm late tonight, and there's a reason why I'm late, I must say. I was going to go live earlier, and I called myself going to do a drive, and I left my car keys in the house. Have you ever did that before? Leave your keys in the house, and no one close to come help you or save you. Luckily, I had my cell phone. Shoot, I took a Uber to the casino. So it wasn't too bad at all. Yes. And if you're in the bushes, please hit that like button. I don't know who you are, but I do know that it be on the internet what I be talking about. And I'm just here waiting. And so I do want to go over this interview and hope that you want to go over it also. Sorry again for being so tardy this evening. I would have gotten here sooner and I not locked myself out the house. Yes, we all do it every now and then, I know. I can't be the only one who does that. Ooh, okay, I just want to make sure. Ooh, gotta make sure my. Hold on, D-Love. Got it. Because I wanted to see who. What am I? Nobody hit the. Oh, we got 2 likes. Okay, I can receive that. And I'm gonna hit the like button for the 2 who didn't hit the like button. Okay, let's get started. Let me tell you, for those in the bushes, there is nothing new that y'all have seen already. FYI. So, again, it was funny today. My daughter called me. She said, I seen your video on Dear Woke Christian channel. I said, you seen my video where? And I said to myself, again, we had this conversation yesterday, but it's funny when you see it on someone else's channel. You like, dang, I didn't watermark it. Hey, Just Doing Nails. I appreciate you being here. Please like and hit that subscribe button for your home girl. I appreciate it. So I said, well, I know people in the bushes and some are just doing their research. But it is what it is. I ain't crying about it. I'm moving on. Let's move on. Well, once again, this your girl D-Love from the South Side, Inglewood for life, Chicago, that is. Oh, thank you. You already did. You get a heart for me. I appreciate it. I really want to go over the WVON interview. I was listening to part of it the other day. I think that was Thursday. Didn't have a chance to go back and listen to the rest of it. I don't know if anybody else had a chance to go back and look at it or have seen the whole video. Oh, you haven't seen the interview yet either? Okay, well, we can watch it together. All 9 of us. And, all right, let's get it started. Let me make this bigger. I don't have a production crew. I just have me. I saw Tiffany. Did Tiffany do an interview recently? Just Doing Nails? Did she do it today? Not the Trustees. Wait a minute. Let me know if I'm behind. If Tiffany has done an interview, then we're gonna go find that interview. Hey, James. Excuse me while I press the like button. I so appreciate you. Hugs and kisses for real, for real. I just came in from the casino. So I said, let me come online real quick. Well, not real quick. Give you some of my time because you give me some of your time. Here we go. All right, I can't. Let me know if you hear out background noise, and I will try to fix that background noise. Oh, you know what I'm doing so wrong. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Go outbound between Racine and Manheim. Your weather for today, we are expecting some flurries late tonight. High of 23 tonight, a low of 19. Tomorrow, above freezing, a high of 36. I'm Candace McCollum with an update on traffic and weather on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to David Seaton on the Talk of Chicago,
Oh, hold on.
1690.
Hold on. Hold on. Yes, Tiffany definitely did an interview. She did an interview today. Let me know so I can go find that interview so we can see that one because I didn't see that today. Yeah. Tell me. Oh, I didn't even know. Okay, so she did. Oh, I gotta find it. So, where did you see the interview at? Just Doing Nails and Just Doing Nails. Can you enlighten us?
WVON.
Oh, that was garbage. Okay, I see. I know you're talking about. Uh-oh. Oh, they know.
Welcome back, everybody, to the David Seaton Show. We are having, look, I'm really excited about this particular segment. We wanted to give an update on what is going on in the village of Dolton. We've got some breaking news. I've got joining us on the live line, we have Trustee Kiana Belcher, who is joining us. Trustee Belcher, thank you for joining us on the David Seaton Show.
Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. So, kind of give us an update. There's been so much drama going on, even now, between the trustees and Mayor Henyard, and people are not showing up to. She's accusing trustees of not showing up to meetings, so they can't have a quorum. So she's placing the blame.
Hey, First Lady Brown. I'm so glad you are able to come in today. We are blessed to see you.
Squarely on the trustees and accusing the trustees of standing in the way of the village of Dolton getting their business done. What's your position on what's going on in the village of Dolton?
First, David, I'd like to say thank you. What is happening is people are getting it first confused. The issue that she is having with the township trustees is not them not coming to meetings.
And yeah, that's a big problem. People get it confused. The Dolton and the Thornton Township.
That's not the village of Dolton trustees.
Okay.
So there's two separate entities with one common problem, which is her. And it's sad because Thornton Township, which consists of 17 municipalities, which Dolton is included in one of those 17 municipalities, there's a lot of chaos. And there's trouble, financial troubles, FBI subpoenas have come out, have been issued, and a lot of mismanagement of government at this point. It's been 3.5 years. And
dang, 3.5 years. The problem with being at 3.5 years, the debt that has matriculated from this.
Anybody that has been following Dolton at first will see that there have been 4 and 5, because we lost one during the re-election cycle, 5 trustees that have been working diligently against this chaos.
Hey, you right, Just Doing Nails. Kiana Belcher, she the same way she is on this interview and we see her on television or internet. She the same way in person. She be telling it like it is. T.I. is.
So let me ask
And
you.
I say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's a problem because you're just going in and out, and so it's a little bit of a delay. So let me ask you this. Tiffany Henyard is saying that all of the financial malfeasance, all of the mismanagement, she's saying, hey, I'm not even.
Hey, that's interesting, First Lady, that you just heard that the Lansing Journal will be at the Lori Lightfoot report on Monday. I'm like, no, they won't. They record for the township. Now, not to say that they might not be there, Melody and Carol. I wouldn't be surprised, but we have to remember the Lansing Journal really covers Lansing, Illinois, and they are at the Thornton Township because Thornton Township is part of the 17 communities. They typically don't go to the Dolton meetings. I'm just saying. Kiana is why Tiffany needs security. No, why she needs security is because she opened her mouth about that young lady being unalive by the police. That's why she needed that security. Just doing that would be nice if Lansing did go. They do great coverage. Yeah, I love Melody and Carol. They do very good coverage and they very nice. I mean, dang. You know how you let things go by? Carol had a meet and greet. I missed it. I forgot. Hey, Stray, we missed you. I'm glad you could make it. Everybody say hey to Stray. Melly said they don't have the resource to cover Dolton. Correct, because they are Lansing reporters. Carol, hello everyone. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. It's warmed up outside. I'm glad you came by. Stray. Oh, hey, Tina P, how you doing? Oh, you got here just past my bedtime. I know I was trying to get here earlier. However, I don't know if this ever happened to anyone. I called myself going to Costco's today. And I said, we're going to do a drive-by. We can go to Costco together. I went out the door and left my house keys and car keys in the house. And you know what happened? I locked myself out today. So that's why I'm late tonight. I locked myself out. But don't worry, I went to the casino and I was just waiting for somebody to come to the casino to come and get me. So I said, let me get on now. Yes. Okay, I'm going to finish. Just doing that. Yep. Not only did she not handle the that's right, Alexis Willis thing right, she also is super disrespectful to everyone at all the time. And she looked a hot mess in court.
And in control of any of that. That's the trustees who are responsible for everything that's going on as far as the budget being upside down. And when she came in, when she got elected as mayor, the village of Dolton had a surplus of something like 2.3 to $3 million.
I don't understand how Dolton have a surplus. They can't have no surplus when they got that lawsuit over their head, in my thoughts. Oh, we're doing third shift tonight. Oh, I have to go to the basement. Oh, okay. Oh, well, we're not technically doing third shift. Well, we're going to try not to do third shift. How about that?
Dollars. Now you have a deficit of $5. So, while she's been mayor, we've seen the village go upside down about $6 to $7 million, but she's blaming that on the trustees. Go ahead and tell our listeners from your perspective as a trustee, who's really responsible for the mismanagement that's going on in the village?
The mayor and the mayor's administration. The trustees are the legislative branch, and they also oversee the finances. And when I say oversee it, yes, we are the people that approve a budget, but those budgets are line item by the department heads, and we go through what's coming in, what's going out. We got to a point where we were not receiving any financials. And if you even follow the Lori Lightfoot, where the spending of money of.
And I'm sorry, I have to stop it every now and then because I am recording WVON stuff and I don't want to get flagged because I didn't stop the video. Oh, they're at negative points, negative. They are. And listen, if it's like 10 degrees negative outside, they like 20 degrees negative inside of Dolton. Oh, they started off with a surplus when she took office in Dolton. Now they have a deficit of 9 million. But the problem is that's the part. The math ain't mathing. If they owe $33.5 million, they had to pay $440,000 to someone else. When did they have a surplus? That's the part I'm not understanding.
The administration, who's hired by the mayor because she has not been following any ordinances, those are spending of the administration. The trustees don't have a credit card. The trustees don't go out and enter into any contracts with anyone. So when that lie is being told, because that's what it is, it's a blatant lie. When that lie is being told, there's always, both sides. The trustees don't have any power to say, hey, I want you to come and do X, Y.
I'm sorry, First Lady. And we did a video on yesterday. We dived into the salaries that the employees in Dolton had received between 2021 to 2023, public records. And a lot of their salaries have doubled or had doubled. And also, there's a $33.5 million lawsuit that has not been settled. It happened in 2016, 2019, that we saw the verdict document that Dolton is responsible for, and they have not. I say again, they have not paid any money towards this $33.5 million lawsuit. And remember, I heard when Belcher said last week, they're now coming after their assets. Now, the video that I showed yesterday, we read the legal documentation that the attorneys just sent, trying to get financial information from Dolton. So I don't believe Dolton has ever been in a surplus because their insurance was insufficient to pay that $33.5 million lawsuit. So they're in big trouble. So, yeah, really, she lied. Yeah. Say your question again. I missed it. So that's what I was saying is I don't understand how they keep saying that they had a surplus when it really wasn't. It's really not a surplus because they still have a huge debt. Hmm. If they had a let's well the I believe the 29th, the incident happened in 2016 with Lacey, and they never turned over the body cam for there was a young man who was unalive and also now a man who is disabled. They never turned over the body cam. So Dalton lost that lawsuit. And it was actually the highest misconduct in Illinois at that time. And that case was not resolved until 2019. So if they had a surplus, somehow or another, something is the math ain't mathing. FY, in my humble opinion. Yes, a car accident. Oh, just doing that. We know you in Chicago, huh? Then Tiffany messed up any financial progress done before she got into office. Yes, it was. They were already they already had problems before she got there. She just made it worse. And in the paperwork that we looked at yesterday, oh, okay, because the paperwork that we looked at yesterday, she just added to the problem. And also, if you look at the paperwork we looked at yesterday, that attorney was very thorough. I mean, he was thorough. Everything that she's done or doing, any court case that she's in, he got his legal documents to the courts. So they never had a surplus.
YZ, and I'm gonna just get the invoice and send it. It doesn't work like that. So the mismanagement of funds throughout the course of these almost 4 years, where this balance has been from the 5 million surplus to the 3 million over that span of time, almost $9 million. If you look at it, because it's all that you spent and then you went into the hole. So,
but you just said something, Trustee
responsible.
Belcher, you just said something really, really important. You said that the trustees, you are the legislative branch, and that the mayor is the executive branch. You said that the legislative branch,
I heard Belcher did say something about that rink. They're trying to do something with the rink, but they can't afford that rink right now. I went by it yesterday. It's still closed.
appropriate the money, but when the checks actually have to be written, those checks and those payments are coming out of the executive branch. So that is under the control, direct control, and sole control of the mayor. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
So it begs the question. It begs the question for those of you out there who are listening. I want you to just listen to what the trustee just said. The trustees are like Congress, and the mayor is the executive. So that's like the president. So the trustees, as the legislative branch, they
Hey, listen, First Lady, you know, if Cleopatra or Cleo, whatever the homegirl name is, if she had an interview with Belcher and, hey, Mashia, I don't even have to look at your name no more. I know how to say your name, girlfriend. It would not work. It would be heated, and somebody would have been called out their name, or somebody would have got hung up on.
they go and they pass a budget and say, hey, the village, we're going to approve the village to spend X amount of dollars. But when the checks are actually written, the checks are not written by the trustees. That is under control of the executive.
Hey, listen, I know Cleopatra, or Cleo is what I'm going to call her. She can't handle the heat. She only big and bad because she on the other side of that microphone. But when she comes from behind that microphone, she does. She ain't all that.
Executive branch. So if you're looking at money that's being spent, and let me just put a finer point on it, Trustee Belcher. The other issue, because I haven't read Lori Lightfoot's report, but I do know this from the reporting over the years, that a lot of what's happening is that when the trustees meet, you're getting a lot of invoices for expenses that you never approved. Again, that can only be executed by the mayor. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That is absolutely correct. We had an example, and I'll just give one example because there's so many, where one of the vendors contacted us and said that she approved a $2.8 million she got an estimate for $2.8 million to cut trees. And he proceeded to start cutting these trees with a $2.8 million estimate when there was only $400,000 budgeted in the budget for tree cutting. So those are the type of
Wait.
Girl, you funny. Out pulling up signs. And Tiffany riding around and I'm getting it. I'm riding around and I'm getting it.
Wait. I have to have you repeat that because I want people to hear that. You're saying that the trustees of the village of Dolton appropriated in their budget $400,000 for tree trimming services, but when you actually got the invoice that the mayor executed, you got an invoice for $2.8 million?
That's crazy.
Well, we received the copy of the estimate after we started getting all of these invoices, which started way exceeding $400,000. So we start taking it off of the warrant list, which is something, we get the list for approval. So he didn't make it to the $2.8 million, of course, because we didn't have that type of funds, but he had proceeded to start working under the assumption that he would be getting $2.8 million for all his tree trimming.
Hey, I'll tell you this, Trustee Belcher. If you give me an invoice for 2.8,
hi you guys, welcome back.
Oh, sorry,
So
I'm trying to subscribe to Just Doing Nails channel. Appreciate you, Miss Just Doing Nails, coming on by. Listen, I'm gonna get me a lawnmower. And I'm going to get me some people. And we're going to get this business on out here where we can go do cutting trees. And we will cut your trees, trim your bushes. And we can get $2.6 million. How about that?
million for tree trimming. Guess what? I'll start tomorrow. A tree trimming service.
Heck yeah.
How many people? What's the approximate the population of Dolton?
About 21,360, I believe.
So
you're right. That is shameless.
So just to break that down, 2.8 million divided by $21,360. She's asking every resident to pay approximately $131 to get it. It's not even that $2.8 million worth of trees in Dolton, but guess
it's showing. It's showing. That's the crazy part about it is it ain't that many trees. There's trees in Dolton. I'm not gonna say it's not, but it ain't, and I'm gonna say ain't that many trees in Dolton that you need to pay $2.6 million. Listen, if the trees ain't hit them lines, ain't no way we should be cutting them trees. Cut your own tree.
Well, hold on. So I'm going to take our first break. Everybody, don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We've got some more breaking news that happened today, and we've got some other guests. You don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show.
Hey, David Seaton, he ain't playing. And you know what? I think if I'm listening to this correctly, he comes on Fridays. She thinks she's on Mondays, so I don't think they even see each other. But he just dissed his co-worker. What y'all think about that?
We'll be right back.
More from David Seaton coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This January, Bond TV honors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with programming that inspires, educates, and celebrates his enduring.
Whew, that's a lot. That was a bit much for me. Yeah, Michelle, he definitely did a great interview. And I appreciate him being real about it. And he seemed very authentic. He didn't seem like it was a home girl. I'm trying to hit on you. He was like real talk. Yeah, she new to VON, but she not new to the world, honey. With her big self running around, grabbing stuff out the yard. Now you know you look crazy. When you about 6'2", you don't be going outside running down the street like you doing like you a track star. She got to be kidding. Now who she think gonna hire her? She was a school teacher, what she said. Okay, we're trying to fast forward to this. Oh yes, so and he did a good job getting that content, let me tell you. I appreciate it. He definitely did a better interview. I agree with first, no apology. Just me has a very smoothing voice. Hey, listen, I just heard your voice just doing this. I said, oh, girl. Oh, let's see if he can come back. He like a brother who can bob his head. Oh, let me turn it back on.
We've got Trustee Kiana Belcher on the line. I want to pick up Dr. Nikita. I know I told you ladies I was going to do this in a different order, but let me pick up Dr. Nikita first. Dr. Nikita, thank you for joining us today. You have an update on some news that just broke about Mayor Henyard.
Hey, David, how are you?
I am well, thank you, and welcome back to the show.
Oh, yeah, no, wonderful. It's always a pleasure. You're absolutely one of the best. So today, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is facing...
we are about to get the tea. It's old tea, but it's still feel like it's new tea.
One charge of criminal contempt due to the fact that she was trying to shake down a business owner. And
she get one count of contempt for shaking down a business owner. Could you imagine how many other businesses that would come forth to file a case on this? And it could be a class action lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? She messed up big time. You don't shake down nobody. She shook down the wrong person. But my question is, what did she do to this girl, or why did they fall out like this?
Dolton, and she refused to give them their business license, in their liquor license. So today, after a month, actually a year, almost a year, because it was since May of 2024, she's been refusing to give them the necessary paperwork to open after they spent over $6 million.
$6 million, girl. Do you not know? I will come and pull your wig off for real, messing with my money. And we're going to find out what you really look like under that hat. Don't play with people's money.
Wait, say that. Wait, just say that last part about the $6 million.
They spent $6 million to date to build this building, put it together, a restaurant, a multi-level restaurant, Black-owned steakhouse.
Yes.
It was absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And they've been fighting Ms. Hinyard for almost a year to get their proper licensing just to open. And guess what? Today, the judge saw it their way, and they found Hinyard in criminal contempt.
Criminal contempt. Girl, that means jail. That's why she had to go find a babysitter, because who's going to watch her baby while she in jail? That's why she had no makeup on. She was ready.
At court today.
So what does that mean? What's going to be the ramifications of that judicial finding?
Well, they got their license. They made her sign them on the spot. The judge made her sign them on the spot. But her attorney has 14 days to file an appearance to try to,
Hey, we got 30 people in the room. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it.
Say, hey, why shouldn't they put her in jail, or why shouldn't they fine her, or whatever. So that's where we at.
No, I'm saying, what did she do to this lady, Tiffany, who is her and her husband own that restaurant in Dolton? Because remember, there was a video that went out where they were like kumbaya. They was cool. It was good. And all of a sudden now, from then to now, it's kind of vicious like this. What did Tiffany mayor supervisor do to this lady, the business owner? Like, what happened? Where was the breakdown that brought us to this point of court that she won't give her that license?
So that's my question, is that one of the ramifications that Mayor Hinyard one of the sanctions might be jail time?
Yeah, one of them sanctions might be jail time. So I actually have Ms. Camaro. Yeah. So, yeah, you'll be able to talk to her as well. Right.
We've got Tiffany on the line, and she's the owner of that establishment you were just talking about. Thanks for joining us, Tiffany.
Hi, David. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate it. Tell our listeners, what feelings of vindication did you have when you had the judge force the mayor to finally sign off on you getting your permit to your business permit?
Like Dr. Nikita said, this has been ongoing, even in the court systems. Like you have to hold her accountable. And this morning, she finally was held accountable, because her plan was to come into court again and postpone it as long as possible. This is the third court date in a week.
A third court date in a week? You only had one time in front of me, in front of that judge, looking up, and he say something, and I'm going to say, where you want me to sign? I would not be there a second or a third time, not for the same thing. And she compared herself to Jesus. Jesus even did the right thing, girl.
And a half that we've come trying to get the license signed. Every time she says she would sign it, she comes back with something else. You have to sign it before 5 o'clock. It never gets done. It never gets sent. And then we're back in court again. Finally, the judge saw it our way and made her sign it. And I'm hoping that we are able to open soon.
So Tiffany, pardon me, Tiffany, Dr. Nikita just said, with whom are you partnered around this particular business?
It's me and my husband.
Okay, and she said,
oh, okay. Thank you, First Lady.
Said that Dr. Nikita just said that you've invested up to $6 million.
Actually, it's over $6 million. So this all started. We already have a business in Dolton, and our plan was to build a new business here, where Old Animal Hospital had been vacant for years. And nothing in the south suburbs We don't have anything to go to, no restaurant, no community place where we can feel safe and have a good time. If the only place that we have to go to is downtown, it's nowhere in the South.
Well, let me be honest and transparent with you all about this. I understand she's saying like it's no place like this in the south suburbs. Well, there used to be. There used to be banquet halls and other different things similar to this, but not as tall. And what happened was there has been some shootings, pow, 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 and a lot of those close up. And so that's my issue with this banquet hall that typically this is what happened. He started to let a lot of young people in, and it had turned into a club. And then, this what happened because there's several ones in the south suburbs that we had banquet halls out here, but now they're closed.
Suburbs, nowhere in Indiana. So that was our vision in this. This community needs this. People ask me, well, why would you come to Dolton? Well, why not Dolton? Why not to our own, community?
Well, let me give you the opportunity
to start from somewhere.
No, absolutely, and I applaud and I commend you and your husband because speaking as a business owner, when you're taking on millions of dollars of risk to open up a business,
absolutely.
you're putting your own future. Are you and your husband? Do you have children?
We do.
So you've got small children at home, and you're putting it out. You're putting it all on the line to build a
small children. They're all adults.
Yes, that place is like literally right next door to people's homes over there. Could you imagine the traffic over there? But again, a couple of videos that I had, we drove over to St. Patrick's, and you can see there's a lot of parking spaces over there. The only problem is there's a soccer field over there enclosed. So if they have any thing going over there, it's going to really the traffic is going to fall into the residential area.
So they have the grandkids. I have my parents I take care of. It's still, you're putting my livelihood in jeopardy.
Now, let me give you an opportunity to respond to what Dr. Nikita just said, because she used a very specific word. She said that over the last year that the mayor was trying to shake you down. I want to give you the opportunity to actually respond to that and clarify that.
Well, I don't want to be specific here because everything is still
right. I understand. Say what you. Sure.
But I will say, once we stopped donating, once all that happened, everything stopped. The communication stopped because we didn't just donate to her; we donated to both sides.
Okay.
We tried.
Oh, okay, that's what happened. They stopped donating. Oh, they're gonna put that in their court filings.
Tried our best to stay out of the political eye.
Okay.
Because with business owners, that's it.
Okay.
The only reason why the mayor was even involved because she is the mayor. She has to issue the permit. That has to happen. But we tried our best to stay out of this political fire.
I completely understand. Let me, Trustee Belcher. Is this something? Listening to this story from, like I said, a fellow business owner, she and her husband have put a ton of money. They're trying to invest in the village of Dolton. Is there any conversation at the trustee level of taking away some of these responsibilities from the executive, so that if you do have a mayor in the future who is either inefficacious or just morally bankrupt, that you don't have to have one person who can control what's going on? Because in some villages, in some cities, there's a specific individual who handles issuing business licenses. It doesn't go to the mayor. Understand?
Hey, Manisha, that's a good one. Tiffany needs to be washed in the blood of Jesus. I received that.
The village of mayor of Dolton is smaller, but are the trustees having conversations about how to rewrite the laws of the village so you don't have individuals who can take advantage of the citizens?
Well, most of these ordinances are already in place. We just have a person that don't follow the laws. And
wait. So you're saying that when Mayor Henyard was withholding this business license from Tiffany and her husband? You're saying she was doing it in contravention of ordinances that are on the books?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I'm absolutely saying that. And most of the time, before Mayor Hinyard was the mayor, which she sat on the board for 8 years, she knew how bringing businesses in front of the board or even in front of the community, because it affects everyone. And there's a process. We have a village administrator. The mayor in Dolton is a part-time position. So the village administrator handles a lot of things where the applications are taken in. Normally about April, it goes to the department, where the business department, they look over and make sure everything is in order. And then it used to be a process where the mayor and the clerk was signing off on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was two-part. Of course, when she came in, it's her way or the highway. And there are a lot of ordinances that are in place and she's just not following them.
Isn't this the same where she wanted to put the money in 7 different bank accounts? Out of curiosity. You're right. She don't follow no rules. She ain't followed no rules since she got in there in 2013. She would love nothing more than to start a cult. Well, she won't get me, honey. Willie Moore can be what's his name? Moore? Whatever Mr. William Moore is, he could be. He can be in her cult, but not me, honey. Hey, I watched Jim Jones. I definitely ain't finna play that game. 7 different bank accounts. Yeah, remember she was trying to move the money into 7 different bank accounts? William Kamal. I don't know about DOTTS. I think DOTTS would jump ship, and Keith Price.
So now that you have your business license signed off on, what's the ETA for you and your husband to have your opening?
So we're looking for the Super Bowl day, which is a soft opening. That's the goal at this point.
Oh,
Tiffany,
we can get.
Congratulations to you and your
Thank
husband.
you.
I've been covering this.
Hey, to be honest, when I drove it, you could say they got some nice chairs. It's supposed to be a steak restaurant, so I'm definitely gonna go.
Story for a while, and I've been telling people, just keep suing, keep turning her in, and she won't be able to get away with this forever. I am so happy for you and your husband. And look,
thank you.
I guess I'm gonna have to come out. Look, I don't know if it's safe for me to come out to Dalton and visit your place. Tiffany she'll have the police looking for me. Tiffany, I appreciate it. Is there? Do you want to hang out for a minute? Is there any other information you want to share with our listeners?
No, that pretty much sums it up. The residents have been following it, so they know what's going on.
Tiffany, congratulations. What's the name of your steakhouse?
Thank you. St. Patrick's Restaurant.
St. Patrick's Restaurant, everybody in Dolton, Illinois. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm going to shout that out to everybody in Dolton. Make sure you go to St. Patrick's Restaurant and Steakhouse. We're going to continue this conversation. We've still got Trustee Belcher on the line, and we're also waiting for one of the other trustees to call in. This is a really, really important story. I hate to see corruption, and I especially hate to see our people taking advantage of our people. We're going to take another quick break, everybody. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. For those,
I had to put that on 5. That's how to do Cleopatra when she was on. I said, I can't listen to her all the way now. She drive me nuts. Yeah, don't pray for me more. No more. You got that right. She did not look like a public official. She sure didn't. She looked like a public aid recipient. And no offense to the public aid recipients, because some of them be just as sharp, but definitely looked at a mess. Don't pray for me no more. Mr. Moore definitely will be the assistant pastor in Cook County Jail, because he is. It looks like a nice building too. And it is a very nice looking building. I saw the furniture. They got nice furniture up in there. Also, Michael Smith is looking drained. He always looks kind of weird to me. At court, with her daughter hat on, she looked crazy. I thought she had to look for a babysitter. Just saying. Clearly, he's chosen a side. And he ain't going nowhere. Can someone find out where he's working now? Well, we heard he ain't working at them schools, but he's running for trustee of Riverdale. That is funny for his lady. Did y'all see that? She said, Michael's Dotts. I refuse to say his whole name like that. Like Tommy, oh, Martin, girl, he ain't got no job. He ain't got no job. I don't know how he survives, to be honest. I mean, I don't know who he working for, how he working. Oh, there goes Stray. And she was walking like they ain't late for half an hour. She is so crazy. Listen, I deliberately don't get a ticket driving because I don't want to go to court. I don't want nobody to come take my driver's license. I don't want nobody to tell me I gotta take my hair off. Hey, he got him a little green tea, huh? She always late. She disrespectfully late. Ain't no way. She ain't scared about jail. Jail ain't gonna seem real until she there. What is he watching? He all on that phone. He probably does live in his grandmama's basement. Now he's supposed to be married. So I don't know. I heard him talk about it one time. Okay, let's see. I think he's gonna come on. Oh yeah, he lives in his grandmother's basement, wearing his granddaddy's suit to all the electoral media. Y'all are so wrong.
Cerebral flatulence. He wanted to say Dolton, but the village of Dolton. Trustee, we have Kiana Belcher on the line, and joining us now we have Stephanie Wiedemann. I believe she is on with us. Stephanie, are you there?
I am here.
Thank you for joining us. You just missed. We had Dr. Nikita on, and we had Tiffany, who is the proprietor of the St. Patrick's Restaurant and Steakhouse. That she just finally got.
Hey, just doing nails. I appreciate you coming by, and I hope you come by more often. I would definitely come stop by to say hello to you also. Again, thank you so much. And good night. It is Sunday night, ain't it? We Sunday morning. We got to go to church in the morning.
Got her business license today, and Trustee Belcher was informing us that she was found in contempt of court today, and Eric Beecham just posted on the Facebook wall that Mayor Henyard casually strutted into court today 30 minutes late. What's your feeling? Tell us what you're feeling about her being held in criminal contempt of court today.
I think that we all make decisions, and whatever the repercussions for those decisions are, we have to deal with. Laws are set forth for a reason. And when you choose not to follow them, there's repercussions.
I was talking to Trustee Belcher earlier, and you're joining us, and she's, again, every time I read something about this mayor, and for those of you who are on Facebook, go to the David Seaton Show on YouTube. I've got a whole episode that I did on this mayor, and there's a lot of great content that you can check out, but you can definitely check out the one about Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Explain to me, because
he also doing content, huh?
Most people don't understand this. I remember talking about Mayor Henyard over a year ago, and people were very, very discouraged, and they were asking, how is this woman continuing to get away with this? You know, what do we do? And I encouraged people. I said, hey, keep calling the FBI, keep calling the Attorney General's office, Kwame Raoul. Keep holding her feet to the fire, because the more people complain, the more she's going to be investigated. But I've explained to our listeners, especially the people of Dolton who are listening, is there no mechanism in place in the village of Dolton when you have an executive that is just running roughshod over every law and ordinance on the books? There's no mechanism that the trustees can to rein her in, or rein the mayor in?
Well, I think he would be more in touch with Tiffany, because he said, go look at some YouTube videos that he has done on her.
Are you asking that of me, or?
Yes, I'm asking. I want to ask you. Yes, I was asking you. I'm sorry.
You ain't gonna say too much.
I do believe that there might be some things that the trustees could take hold of there. I'm not a trustee in the village. I am a newly elected trustee at the township.
Yes. I'm sorry. So you're with Thornton Township. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Okay.
Just the municipality rules and the township rules don't always look the same. So I can't
Correct.
fully answer that for you.
Is there any mechanism at the township, at the municipal level, that if the supervisor of the trustees is abusing the public trust, there's nothing that the trustees of the municipality of Thornton can do to rein that executive in, or to rein the supervisor in?
Yeah, there are some options. There's always a vote of no confidence. There have been a couple things that have been kind of set on the table that the trustees would be able to utilize. But again, this is not something that any of us have really been through before. So trying to figure out what the right path is would be the next step.
No, and I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad, just so that our listeners understand, we have a trustee from Thornton Township, and then we have Kiana Belcher, who is an actual Village of Dolton trustee. I am completely sympathetic to the enormity of the task that both of you have had to try and navigate, and you, Stephanie, being a new trustee, because
he probably doesn't know that she's been with the township like forever.
The acts of this mayor have been so brazen. You probably have never had to even think of or even conceptualize of what types of rules you would have to put in place, because you've never seen this before. Kiana, what are your thoughts?
You're 100% right. I've been involved in politics for 20 years in Dolton Township, and this definitely that is probably a once a lifetime historical event.
True.
I hope so. But I don't know. I fear that there's going to be some unscrupulous person who is going to run for this office in the future. They're going to see what this mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has.
I think that if someone else gets into this, I don't think that people be more aware. Like before, I don't think people really took much stock in the Thornton Township. Now, Dolton, I can't speak on because, they've been having problems for years. And because Frank Zuccarelli died, they really don't. This is their first time trying to figure this out.
Has gotten away with, and they're just going to be more emboldened. On the video that I did about her, when they did the caucus, when they did the caucus to get her off the ballot, and she was even brazen then. She was being interviewed by the local media and saying, "No, I will be victorious." And she said, just like Trump got elected, I'm going to get reelected. I'm going to come in for the win. I can't believe that she is this brazen. But let me go back to you, Stephanie, as a new trustee for the municipality of Thornton. What are have you spoken to the other trustees? Is there an agenda to rein in Tiffany Henyard as supervisor? And did she get removed from that ballot as well? Can she even run again for supervisor of Thornton Township?
She cannot. She won't be on the ballot as a party. I think she has the opportunity to run as a write-in still.
Okay.
But I mean, we all know what a tough beat that is, especially with all the negative publicity.
Well, she says she's super mayor. Her people are going to show up for her.
Well, she could have proved that Tuesday when we had the annual town hall meeting for the residents to vote to fill the vacant seat that I just got elected to. But her people, it was a vote of the residents, and the people in the room for me outweighed the people in the room for her.
Now, her first tactic.
Hey, Stephanie, no. She know the love is out there for her.
Was to try and sue and say that what the Thornton Township did by having a caucus as opposed to a primary, she tried to sue and say that is illegal. I want to let both of you answer this question. Is Mayor Tiffany Henyard really that ignorant of the law? And I think I know the question or the answer, but I want to give both of you the opportunity to answer it. Stephanie, I want you to answer it first. Is in your dealings with Tiffany Henyard, is she just so wantonly and abjectly ignorant of the law, or do you
think she's ignorant of the law? Put your answer in the comments.
think that she's getting bad counsel, and perhaps that's the source of her hubris?
We Ben said that.
My personal opinion would be that she is not ignorant of the law.
Okay.
From where I sit, it would seem that she's comfortable moving the way she does because she doesn't take accountability for her actions. She blames other people. So I believe in her eyes, she's not going to have to take accountability for anything because she can point a finger all the time.
You really think she's that bold that she just thinks that there are not going to be any repercussions suffered for all of the malfeasance that she is guilty of, or that she allegedly is guilty of?
I believe so. I believe she blames each person around her. She's picked a person from her team. They're each going to take the hit for something, and I believe she thinks it's going to get her off.
Kiana, you've worked more. Stephanie is new. She just got elected. Congratulations, by the way, on your election.
Thank you.
Kiana, you've been working more intimately with Mayor Henyard and for a longer period of time. Is it that she's ignorant of the law, or has she just insulated herself and created this echo chamber where she thinks that that she won't be held accountable?
No, I don't think she's ignorant of the law. I think that she has the type of mentality, and she'll just push the buttons. I'm going to see how far I can get. And she has been doing that, and nobody holds her accountable for her actions. So
this is a shame because all this is going to get her in the clink. And she could have done more with her life and with her seat had she just stayed in the right course. She fell off. Now she's paying for it.
She keeps pushing and pushing. And even as Stephanie states, she always has someone.
Hey, All City 73, bro, got a whole house and has his own business. But folks aren't here talking about he's unemployed living in his grandparents' basement. Well, we appreciate you.
Around her that'll take the fall, or someone around that she can point the finger at. She said it plenty of times, even in a meeting where when the trustees were trying to put her on the bank account. No, I don't want my name on the bank. I don't want let somebody else be the front of her malfeasance. But I believe she knows exactly what she's doing.
I just find it so difficult to believe, just because I mean some of the things that she's done have just been so abjectly important. Even doing I saw her. She did an interview with Roland Martin on YouTube, and he asked her about when she had the one trustee meeting, and she was dressed up like Nino Brown, and her, just to hear her explain it and say, well, no, I wasn't dressed up like Nino Brown. I was dressed up like Martin because I'm trying to reach out to the kids. And when I hear her say that, I'm thinking, kids don't vote.
Kids don't vote.
What do you mean you're dressing up like Martin so you can reach out to the kids? But so, yeah, maybe the kids like you, but all of the adults who have to vote for.
Look how he looking when he talking about it. You can see the conviction in his voice. And that is so true. Kids don't vote. Adults vote.
For you, they don't like you. When we come back, we've got to take a quick break. I want to talk to both of you, since we know that she's not going to be on the ballot in Thornton. And I believe that the re-election for the mayor's position in the village is coming up this year in 2025. Is that right, Kiana?
Yes, February 25th, 2025. Voting starts February 10th.
Quick, wait. Hold that thought, ladies. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, everybody. You're listening to the David C.
Okay, let David talk. David be like, he on it. He ain't with that sugar honey iced tea. He telling it like it is. And that's all you can appreciate from a grown man who's telling like it is, standing on his business. And, and not out here trying to get people. That's how I say, what I'm saying? All this other stuff. We don't care if you live in your mama's basement, your daddy's basement. Act like you got some MF sense. That's all I'm saying. And this is the unfortunate part is there are people who are not being real about what's going on. Yes, this is a great interview, and this is how a real interview and conversation should be going on. We have in the last several years having to deal with the back and forth and being security and all this money going. Like, of course, people are tired. People are tired. And that's the thing. They don't get it. People are tired. And everybody going to have to clean house in a lot of these positions. And I can't wait to see what happens. What's going to happen next? Because you got to think, people like relatable people. And if you come off as if you are controlling, that you don't value people, they're going to get tired of it. They're going to get tired of it. Oh, she would never do an interview like this because she won't be in control. Hold on. The music's still on. Definitely. She don't want to. Oh, I think they're back. Hold on, y'all.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a messed up now. From the Thornton municipality of Thornton, and then we have Kiana Belcher, who is a trustee from the village of Dolton. Trying to keep that straight. So just so both of you ladies know, there are a ton of people in the Facebook chat who love both of you. I've seen nothing but high fives and just glowing accolades for both of you. So again, congratulations. Both of you are obviously doing something right, and you have the support of your constituents. So again, congratulations to both of you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And we appreciate each and every one of them.
Yes, ma'am. So Kiana, let's get back to you. You just said the election for the mayor for the village of Dolton is going to be held on February the 25th. And you said early voting starts on February 10th.
That is correct.
So what do people have to do? Well, before we even go there, is there any polling out right now that we can kind of use as a harbinger of the outcome of this election? Do you think that Mayor Tiffany Henyard can get reelected in the village of Dolton?
Well, I'm going to say this because we make calls, we go door knocking, and we have overwhelmingly amount of support. But you can't take that for granted because there are people that you call and they love her, regardless if it's something they've gotten for free.
I've been saying that there's people out here who actually still love her, especially men.
Or sometimes it's just mentality of people that feel like I pay this or whatever she's doing, it hasn't been done in all these times, and they're not looking at the long term effect of the community. But we do have an overwhelming amount of support where people are saying this girl got to go. This girl has to go. It's too much. It's so much negativity. You hate to pull out your ID and say Dolton because the first thing they say, you down there with that mayor? It's just embarrassing.
And you're really not overstating it at all. Tiffany Henyard has been covered nationally
and internationally. She probably has gone so far. She further than Obama.
And when I did my upload on YouTube, there were people who were commenting. I often get people who live in Europe, live in different countries in Europe, and they are following. There are two mayors, if no one else, that they are following. They are following Brandon Johnson. And they are following Tiffany Henyard. And Tiffany Henyard, the level of infamy that she has globally, people even outside of the United States cannot fathom just the level of malfeasance that this mayor.
He using them, dropping them big words. Y'all notice that? Malfeasing. Let's see. You're right. She would never do an interview like this because she won't be in control. First Lady, hopefully they will never do that again. A supervisor should not be a mayor and vice versa. That's going to happen. Out here, that's going to happen because as long as those two jobs don't conflict with each other, you're going to see that again. they put those boss chicks to shame. First Lady, I believe because it has had so much media coverage, their voters' turnout should be much better. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And I'm sure a lot of people maybe would do early voting also because I would. They know about that clown mayor on Mars. Child.
There has been of what she has been accused, and a lot of it is irrefutable. You know, Kiana, comment on how the police cars at one time for the village were about to get repossessed because she didn't pay the car bill, pay the auto note for the police cars for the village.
Yeah, she has been running this village like she probably runs her household. And it's not the same type of entity where it was like she had an open checkbook, and as much as we tried to stop, it was, you know, people thought that we were just trying to attack her. And I'll say that, and I said it before. But when you started seeing, oh my God, $43,000 in one day at Amazon being spent, $1.3 million for a skating rink that's bringing in absolutely.
Hold on. That skating rink, I didn't know it was 1.3. I thought it was like 40,000. That skating rink is actually overpriced. They overpaid for that skating rink. I'm gonna walk over there one day next week for sure, as long as it's warm out, and show you that skating rink. It's just a concrete, maybe some rails around the side. They build some little houses around it, but 1.3 million. Somebody need to go get their money back.
No income to a community.
Did she buy the skating rink? Did she buy it?
She used taxpayer money.
And she bought it for the village?
She had it built. She had it built on village property. And if you, in my eyesight, if you start building something on property and land that's not yours, it's called stealing to me.
Okay, I had heard the skating rink story before, but I didn't know it was built from. She took $1.3 million, went and hired some contractors and an architect and all that, and built it from the ground up. So now the village owns an asset, I guess, of $1.3 million of a skating rink.
Absolutely.
How does that happen?
That skating rink don't look like that much. Cost that much.
I mean, obviously, because I've seen this in the news as well. And I'd like to both of you to respond to this, because again, I want my listeners to understand the powers in the legislative and executive branches. When these bills come in, the village and or the township, you can just refuse to pay them if the executive did not go through the appropriate steps to get pre-approval for those expenses, correct?
Yeah.
That is the appropriate way to do it. So we started removing vendors. We started taking them off. Said, no, we're not paying that. It's not approved. So then she started using credit cards. She went to the bank and increased the credit limit on the credit card and started paying them through the credit card. Well, of course, by the time it comes to us for approval for the electronic warrant list, they've already received the money. It has been.
Damn, that is some downright hood-ish.
A fiasco.
She went to the bank. How did she get the credit limit on the credit cards raised when I'm sure the bond rating for Dolton has gone down since she's been mayor? So what does she know? So she knows. Do you know what the bond rating is for?
Hey, David Seaton, I appreciate you coming on. And yes, I'm glad we are going to prevent. Okay, yeah, we're going to prevent that Thornton Township and Dolton from, we don't want to call her Hiffany, but we're going to call her Hiffany. And we definitely appreciate your interview and your being straightforward. Hey, SG, how you doing?
For Dolton is right now?
I do not know, but it's probably negative.
Damn.
we can't get a loan probably anywhere, or if it is, it would be such high rate.
Right, but that's a good question. How is she able to get an increase because I don't know if is it different from businesses from personal increase, but don't you got to get some feedback or something like some money? I don't know. This is just weird to me. But again, I'm telling you that ice rink, it don't look like a $1.3 million ice rink. Maybe the ice skates. I don't know. Do they have skates for the people? Now I know in the summertime they was using it as a roller skating rink.
Yes.
It's sad. I'm sorry, David, because sometimes people don't realize that although we'll laugh about it, it is very sad for our community.
No, it's very sad.
Mhm.
It's incredibly sad that Dolton has approximately has a population of about 20,000 people. When I looked it up, the average per capita household income in Dolton is less than $50,000. You're talking about a working class community of people with 20,000 and again, she's taking you from, like, I think you said it was a $3 million surplus to a $5 million deficit. So she spent $9 million, and it sounds like you just said 1.3 million of it is to build a skating rink, and she did it behind the backs of the trustees of the village.
But that's what I'm saying is, so if they had $9 million in debt, that's add on the $33.5 million in that lawsuit that they have not paid off. So Dolton is really going to be in a hole for at least 10 to 20 years. And those attorneys want that lawsuit paid in full. So I don't know what Dolton's going to do to get that money up, because they're trying to get Dolton to access. The attorneys want to attach Dolton's assets. Asset. I always had that word tongue twisted. And and even in the attorney's paperwork, he said Dolton is in salvage. Is that the word it said? I can't. Hopefully, I said it right.
That's absolutely correct.
Stephanie, are you a Village of Dolton resident, or are you just in the township? Obviously, but
I'm in the township. I live in the village of Thornton.
Okay. So she's not on the ballot. Let me ask both of you this question, because we're coming up on another break, and I think this is really, really important. The salary that she's getting as the supervisor of Thornton Township is like $225,000 a year, I think, and then she gets another $50,000.
She made, public record says she makes $308,000 a year. Hey, Sharon, how are you doing? Glad you can join us. The only thing they can try to do now is stop the bleeding. Yeah, that's the scary part, but sometimes you hemorrhage so you die. Hey.
A year as the mayor of the village. So, that's been discussed openly in the news, that she's, got a salary of $275,000. And if she doesn't win, if she's not reelected,
she's gonna get 47
in the village, the township, because she's being removed from the ballot. I don't know that she can afford to remain the mayor of the village. I don't know how she's going to take a $225,000 hit in her salary. But I wanted to just say that, just so people understand that this woman is making a huge amount of money in both of these positions, and just again, the alleged amount of money that she's taking while she's in these positions is, like I said, unfathomable. I want to hear when we come back who both of you believe is the best candidate for her positions. I'll let you speak about the person whom you believe is the best person to take over for the supervisor for Thornton Township, and then Kiana, I want to hear you comment on whom you think would be the best person to take her position as the mayor of the village of Dolton. Everybody, we're going to take another quick break and check in with the Velvet Voice.
I think, to answer that question, I think that Stephanie's going to say Napoleon Harris, and Kiana's going to say Jason. That's who they're going to say. because for the Thornton Township, it's going to be Chris Clark. I don't know. That's not going to go well, but Chris Clark against Napoleon Harris, and Nate's going to be on the ballot. So I'm sure Nate's going to be he's going to be showing up. He's going to show up on the ballot. There's one other person I thought was going to be on the ballot for the Thornton Township. So for Dolton, we know we have Jason. Who else running for Dolton? One of those people. So one of those other people is running for Dolton. All I know is Jason. I don't be knowing these other people. I'm just saying. So sad for Dolton. Jason he win his financial uphill battle. Yeah, he has an uphill battle, and I'm praying for and hoping his patient with administration. And he has a calming spirit, so he gonna work his way through it. The mayoral position only paid I think it's $57,000 because the mayor's position is part-time. Yes, it's definitely part-time. First lady and blessings. Yeah, Sharon is in the house. Cassandra Hopkins Jordan. I don't even consider her, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? She don't seem to show up for me. And I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm being right, but I don't even see her like that. I think for this situation, it has to be a person who have a name recognition for the mayor of Dolton. But I don't see her even coming close because she don't even know her neighbors. You said Nate is going to definitely be hired. Yeah, I think he's going to be hired, especially if depends on who gets in office. That's what I wanted. I think that's how that's going to work. Is he talking? Oh, he is.
In Liverpool, if you're still listening right now, hey, when you get an opportunity, go to YouTube, look up the David Seaton Show. There's a ton of content there on Tiffany Henyard and a lot of other topics that you're following over there. So thanks for participating. But guess what? That gentleman, he's not tuned in because he's necessarily, checking for David Seaton. People are interested in this story about Tiffany Henyard all over the world. Ladies, I know I asked you a question before we went to break, but I do want to pick up at least a couple of these calls because some of them have been holding for a while. We've got Cat Daddy online too. Cat Daddy, thanks for calling.
You're welcome. First of all, the problem that Tiffany Henyard
is Cat Daddy is the same one. He used to have these little talks on 43rd Street. I used to go to see him.
Has, which is the same problem that Brandon Johnson has, is they don't want to accede to their legislature because in bodies like the legislature always has oversight over the executive.
Yes.
I think that she is somewhat familiar with the law. She just doesn't want to obey it.
I think that's fair.
I think Tiffany's one of them people who say, they drive and it's a stop sign. Somebody told me I was doing a rolling stop. She just worse than me. She just goes straight through the sign.
Has she gotten any kind of advice from the Illinois Municipal League, which would deal with Dolton, and any advice from the Thornton, the township officials of Illinois? She claims she's read through the materials, but that seems to be it. She thinks that the world is just one great big place for her to go out and mess up in, and she got put in her place when she didn't get slated in that caucus because they keep incorrectly saying that she got knocked off the ballot. She never got to the ballot because no one nominated her to go on the ballot.
Absolutely.
She also got put in her place with Miss Weideman when they elected her instead of one of her flying monkeys on the town board of trustees, so she could go ahead and do to the township what she's been doing to the village.
Did he call her people monkeys?
Of Dolton. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
No. I was saying, hey, those are great points, all, Cat Daddy. I appreciate the call. Let me hold on. Let me okay. Thanks for the call, Cat Daddy. Let Let me pick up James real quick. James, thanks for calling the David Seaton Show.
And I'd like to say good evening to my hometown of Chicago. I'm calling from the Mid-South of Mississippi and Memphis. And those two ladies that you have on, I'm not trying to throw out any advertising, but I had them on my show. And there's some remarkable women. When I covered this story, it was interesting to see the people that were involved in the beginning. Trustee Belcher, Trustee House, Ms. Wiedemann, Trustee Wiedemann, spearheaded a lot and had most of the receipts that a lot of people did not have. It wasn't sour grapes. It wasn't mad at you because you fired me. But I am doing what I do because I love this community and this township. And I take my hats off to her, and I know that she's going to do great in her position. My sister Kiana, a wonderful woman dedicated to her village, a warrior. She's not going to take any mess. And as you cover her, and I'm asking your station because I interned at that station back in 1981 under Mr. Purvis Spann. And I was an intern at WVON and 1390 at the time. And I knew the standards that were held there. And I just like to say to you, Dave, as my broadcast brother, that I salute WVON for what they're doing and allowing these ladies to come on, these honorable ladies to come on and probably give a little balance to what you had the other day.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that call. I appreciate that, brother. Like I said,
Dave, great show.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that greatly.
That was nice. He didn't cut the man off. He let the man talk. This is a different from night and day, right?
Kiana, if you and I know it's probably inappropriate for me to ask you if you are endorsing someone as a sitting trustee, but is there a candidate who's running for mayor of Dolton with whom you would like or that you would prefer to work with and work in the future?
House.
Absolutely. Jason House, the clean house slate. That is Jason House for mayor, Allison Key for clerk, myself, I'm running for re-election, and Steve and Brittany Norwood, who's running for re-election.
Okay.
So we have a ticket. We have started with what we have right now, changing, moving things in a different direction, and we need to make sure that under the leadership of Jason House, we'll be able to bring Dolton, revitalize Dolton, and change the narrative of what's happening right now.
Kiana, I've been seeing this hashtag in Facebook the entire time that we've been doing this interview, and it says hashtag Clean House 2024. I didn't make. Right, I'm sorry, 2025. I didn't make the connection until you just said that. I just been thinking it was clean house, like get Tiffany out of there, clean house. I didn't, but again, you said that and it finally clicked. So, but and house is capitalized. So I should have caught that. So yeah, everybody.
Thank you, Manisha. I appreciate you.
The hashtag Dolton Rising and hashtag Clean House 2025 has been trending the entire show on the Facebook feed. Stephanie, again, I know you're a recently elected trustee, so I don't want you to have any conflict of interest, but is there someone specifically with whom you would prefer to work in the position of the Thornton Township Supervisor?
Yeah, absolutely. The township race is going to look a little bit different than Dolton. It's not until April 1st. There is no primary. That's what the caucus was for. So there's a Democratic ticket running, a Republican ticket running, a new party has a ticket that's running, and then an independent. So in the supervisor race, there will be 4 people running. I am supporting Napoleon Harris. I think that, he is got a good business mind. He has strong leadership skills. He's been involved in our communities pretty much his entire life. And I think he's aware of the task at hand to be able to.
Hey, we know he's aware of the task at hand. The way he played that caucus, he playing chess with these females or with Henyard.
Not only fix the image, but the relationships with, the vendors, with the residents. There's been a lot more damage done than just what you see on the surface. And it's going to take a very strong leader to figure out how to pick this up and move forward.
I'm so glad to hear both of you have identified someone at the very, very least. And I can, again, let me just say the amount that you ladies have been lauded by your constituents in this Facebook.
Oh, yes, this goes. Let's see, girl, after that Martin G show, Cassandra moved out of Dolton. But isn't she running in the Dolton election? Where's she gonna go? She gonna go back to the house that she owns that is out of Dolton, I'm sure. Cassandra is aggressive. Very much so. Sharon. And all these things, scripture stands true. T. First Lady, I don't believe Tiffany read the Illinois manual, sir. Yeah, flying monkeys. I was like, did that just go over my head or am I tripping? Flying monkeys, narcissist lingo. Truth is a freedom that everyone will enjoy when it is used truthfully. What a blessing. Amen. Preach, girl. It's Sunday morning. Amen, Sharon. Thank you, Marcia. Hit the like button, folks, please, and thank you. Hashtag Dolton Rising from Jed.
Book feed. Like I said, I can't even tell you the number of compliments that both of you have received. That said, I do want to bring up this one point and get.
Hey, Lisa Lee, glad you can join us.
Both of your opinions on this. Before Tiffany Henyard ran for mayor, she ran a Good Burger. I believe it was at South Suburban College. And when she ran that Good Burger, she lost the business and wasn't paying the rent. And, it was, again.
Hey, ain't that the same thing Kamal's done? He paid the rent over in that joint he got in Glenwood.
And it was, I think, if you go and you can go up and look up. I went to the Cyber Drive, Illinois, and I looked up the business. I don't even. It's not even in good standing the last time that I checked. But and then subsequent to that, it was either right before or right after that, she got arrested in the city of Chicago. I believe it was at 118th in Michigan. I believe that's.
Hey, Luis. 118th in Michigan. Y'all know that's Roseland. And you won't be in Roseland. I have to go to. She has to get to bed for service tomorrow. Sweet sleep, everyone. Thank you, First Lady Brown, for stopping by. We really appreciate you, and look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Oh, she in the hood on 118th in Michigan.
That's where it was. Again, any of you who are listening to me, you can look up both of these facts. This is information that's documented. You can look up Tiffany Henyard and Good Burger. You can look up Tiffany Henyard and her arrest record.
Oh, no, thank you, David Seaton, for even having this interview and making it very tolerable for everyone to watch.
And you'll see her with that yellow tank top or yellow yellow tank top, and she's got her hair looking crazy, breaking into cars. Here, what's my point? My point is that this is what this woman was doing before she ran for mayor, and just a scintilla of due diligence by someone. If you looked this woman up, you would have seen this information, like I said, out there, because before she ran for mayor, that was the only really public information that was out there about her.
Well, she was actually a trustee. She became a trustee in 2013. Oh, definitely. I would love to do so. Just let me know when, and I am there. Yeah, she ran for trustee in 2013. I don't know if you know that. In 2017, the mayor, then Riley, tried to get Tiffany Henyard, Robert, what's Robert last name? I can't think of Robert's last name. Robert and Stan recalled. So this is not her first recall in an election. So I'm confused. Some of this stuff, I don't understand. Like, somebody didn't go back and say, wait a minute, you already was recalled in Dolton once. Now we're not going to have you in here again. But
question, I'll start with you, Stephanie. Since given that that's the case, given that this is who this woman was before she became mayor, what does that tell voters that how important it is to just do the most cursory research on someone before you vote for them? Tiffany Henyard's ascension just happened to coincide with the Me Too movement. So she ran on this, I'm going to be the youngest Black female mayor of the city of Dolton. And so everybody's been taken on a ride for the last 4 years, because ultimately I think everyone can conclude now she doesn't know what she's doing. But what advice would you give to the listeners out there, using Tiffany Henyard as the template to say, hey, you need to at least just do a Google search on someone before you.
But you got to remember, you're right, do a Google search, but you got to remember a lot of seniors are the ones who go out and to vote in these communities. And they're not doing Googles. They're not using Google, but they getting different services, and they see her, they hear about her in the community. They don't often hear about the bad. Now they're hearing about the bad stuff because people are talking about it. But before then and now, they weren't talking about it like this.
Vote for them and put them in charge of your village and or your municipality.
I would say that's great advice. A lot of times when residents are politically involved, I feel like their involvement goes into, attending board meetings, showing up at events, surface level, kind of meeting these elected officials. Previously, before Tiffany was mayor, had you watched these board meetings, you could definitely see that she was feisty. You could see that she had, a lot of questions. She pushed a lot, but it always seemed to be pro-residents because she was very against the mayor that was in place. She didn't like anything he was doing. She didn't like the way he treated the residents, the way he didn't.
And Stephanie's correct, because the same thing that Tiffany didn't like about the last mayor is the same thing that she has done in her position, which is definitely disrespectful. She was disrespectful to the last mayor, and now she's being disrespectful to the people.
To the board, and now we fast forward to a position where she's almost mimicking what she said she hated before. So sometimes it can be like a delusion when you look at a person sitting up there. So she seemed to fight for what was right. But you're right. A simple Google search could have showed people that there were tendencies that you might not see looking from the view of her sitting up there as a board member.
And I appreciate you positing it the way that you did, that she came across as this anti-establishment, fight for the people type of politician. But I can say unabashedly, she is the most disfluent, thick-tongued, poorly spoken, and I'll just say it, ghetto politician that
He done cussed a woman out without cussing. Jeez. Hey, Lisa Lee. Glad you can join us. Let's see. Oh, you have to go to bed. Okay, she's gone already. I look forward to it. Thank you for sharing this interview. Always, always. We need to connect. Definitely. What did Tiffany think was going to happen in court about not signing the liquor license? She is so disconnected with life. I'm telling you. Her parents didn't teach her, or somebody did teach her about consequences. She definitely didn't go to church. KP is pressing Napoleon. Crazy, isn't it? Challenging him. But he has the right to challenge him. So we got to, you can do it, you can do it, right? He must have the money to be able to challenge, because it's not cheap. The one young lady that I talked to, she's now off the ballot. She told me it costs, so far she spent $6,000. And she didn't even try to go back and fight it. She said, it's too much. Nate may be back on the ballot. I heard he was. Chris Clark. He's on the ballot. This story, if he gets in Thornton Township, trust me, this story is not going to stop. I'm telling you that now. Mark my word, January 26, 2025. If Christopher Clark gets into Thornton Township. I put money on it. I bet you he moves that meeting to Harvey so that the police can regulate that room. And if you think you're going to argue, scream, holler, yell at that man, he going to take you out of jail. It is not going to be nothing nice. But we going to see. Lisa Lee, Tiffany is the poster board for what you don't want your kids to grow up to be. Hey, listen, who raised her? Lisa Lee, facts. Mashia, her poor baby has to grow up in the village hearing about her mother. You know, okay, I'm going to say this. I always bring this story up too. You got to think of Betty Lorraine Maltese. Betty Lorraine Maltese went through the same exact thing in Cicero, Illinois that Tiffany is going through. And if she don't remember that woman's story, and that woman had a daughter, the little girl went to go live with her sister, her mother, her sister, somebody in Florida. Betty Lorraine Maltese, she lost her pension. When she got out of jail, she living in a 1-bedroom. It's some sad story. I mean, you got to go check Betty Lorraine Maltese's story out. And life has a way of 360 degrees. If you don't watch it, you better be careful.
Ever remember seeing, and the fact that she positions herself or has presented herself as the super mayor and the people's champion does not in any way negate everything that I just said about her and everything that I've observed about her since she's raised to national prominence. I can't think. I can barely listen to her speak. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I can't imagine.
Oh my God, did he not go in? He said nails on a chalkboard. Oh, that's cringy.
Imagine. I feel so sorry for you, Kiana. All of the meetings, all of those trustee meetings where you have had to sit, 3 or 4 seats away from this woman and listen to her drone on in that, like I said, unintelligible, thick-tongued, just fluent manner in which she speaks. And I was looking at the board because I didn't want you to start speaking, Kiana, and then we have to go to a break. What your thoughts on what Stephanie just answered about what responsibility do residents have? Because I guarantee you there are going to be some people who are going to still vote for this woman.
Facts.
They're going to say, oh, she's just been railroaded, or, oh, she cut my tree down. So
facts.
I love me some Tiffany.
Facts. And I got that big TV refrigerator from Big Bingo.
As a matter of fact, we're going to take this last break, and then Kiana, I want you to answer that on the other side. Because this is about Tiffany Henyard, but this is instructive about politics in general. You should know something about the people for whom you vote. We're going to take our last break and come back with both trustees and let Kiana answer that question to people. What due diligence should you perform before you vote for somebody? Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We'll be right back.
Yes, I have to fast forward so we don't get the music. Yes. Yes. I mean, like, oh, he said, I ain't never heard nobody say it like that before. Okay, Tiffany. Okay, we did that one. Oh, her poor baby. We did that one. Betcha her father's watching to get his child if his wife approves. And I'm sure the wife is going to approve. Well, I would hope so too. I had the same feeling. Nails on a chalkboard. Listen, I was at that meeting last week and she was talking. I just sat back and I was just listening like, okay. Because again, it's going to be interesting next week. Was Tuesday is the Dolton meeting or the Thornton Township meeting? I need to make sure I have this right. Let's see. Oh, Tuesday's the Thornton Township meeting. Now, when is the Dolton meeting? I was supposed to write it down. Sorry, I have this old school, got a chalkboard to write my dates down. I'll definitely be there the 27th for the Lori Lightfoot report. They say it open at 5. I'm going to be there at 4 because I know it's going to be crowded to get in that joint. And I want to get close as possible. And on Tuesday is the Thornton Township meeting. Definitely will be there at that meeting. And I think he's talking. Oh my.
That is true. That's part of the job as the president and mayor of our village. She's the liquor commissioner. That's true.
Okay. So this woman was the supervisor of Thornton Township. She was the mayor of the village of Dolton. She's the liquor commissioner. She has signing authority for business licenses, and she's been holding up people's business licenses. She was writing checks, and when the village, when the trustee said, we're not going to allow you to write any more checks and we're not going to approve any more invoices, then she took the credit card from the village, went down to the bank, got the credit limit raised on the credit card, and went out there and just spent the money anyway.
Really? Was she that? I don't think she's that smart to do that. I believe somebody gave her that advice to go ahead and do that. I really think, and hopefully Lori Lightfoot let us know. I bet you money that somebody else went down there and did it for her because she's smart. She's trying to outsmart the people and always saying, my name ain't on it. I didn't do it. She ain't put her name on it. She got somebody else to do it for her. Watch.
Anyway, and there's actually someone in the chat who put that obviously she's not going to be reelected as the Thornton Township supervisor because she's not on the ballot. But he went on to say that she's going to get reelected as the mayor of Dolton.
And listen, what David Seaton should have asked about that insurance. Does or do Tiffany have insurance, or does the township have insurance on her, or does Dolton have insurance on her? Because maybe one of the reasons that she couldn't sign that liquor license because she don't have any insurance.
If she gets reelected as the mayor of Dolton, shame on the residents of Dolton. Trustee Kiana, please speak as we close this segment to just the minimum due diligence that voters need to do before you elect someone to represent you.
Well, and I'm going to say this, David. I've always been transparent, and I'm going to say people know that in 2021, when she became the mayor, I ran on her ticket. It was myself, it was Jason House, Allison Key, Kevin Bowen, who didn't make the election. But we felt that all of us had a collaborative knowledge to help her. So yes, she wasn't the best candidate, but it was the best of two or the best of three that we had. So we had to kind of pick and choose what we could work with. And we thought, and I'll just say, I'm very transparent to say, we thought that with our knowledge, we would be able to help her get through some of the hurdles that was had. She wasn't convicted. You know, people do have things that's going on in life. So, but due diligence of even when she was talking as a trustee, she was a trustee for 8 years. You would think that she perceived it as she was working in the benefit of the community.
Yeah, I think she started out trying to do right, and I think she kind of got lost in her ways because of that money. That money make you people act funny.
And maybe she was. The issue probably was she was doing what she did as the mayor. She was just doing what she wanted to do and wasn't following, and that may have caused the friction. So it definitely is. You have to come to board meetings. You have to follow. You have to ask questions. Asking questions is a lot that goes into finding out who a person really is. Because when we started running, and I had to be with her every day in the midst of the campaign, I was like, oh boy, I think we done got ourselves in a big problem. But it was too late. Yeah. So it's all about, you know, learning people, asking questions.
They must don't pull criminal records before you run for a position like that. It's funny when you take a government office job, they run your credit background, do credit checks, references. They didn't do that even just for as a trustee, especially when you're dealing with that type of money and that type of situation. Hey, listen, she's the worst. Listen, she's not the worst, to be honest, mayor in the Southlands. Let me tell you that, Mr. Seaton. Her mouth got her in trouble. But there's other mayors in the South suburbs that's even worse than Tiffany. The problem is she talks too much.
Questions, and you're going to have to ask those tough questions because you want to know the person that you're putting in this position, especially as the president and the executive of the community. They have to be able to be responsible and be able to work on behalf of the community and not them.
And that, I'm sorry, I hate when I do that. That is true, Mr. Seaton. You're right. Her mouth is the worst. But the worst is when you go to a village meeting and you get arrested because you say something under your breath. You know, Tiffany doesn't have that power in Thornton Township or Dolton. But if you go to Harvey, they got ordinance. If you say something, you will be removed, or you will be fined. I met this lady, she was fined $500. I was sitting there when she just said something to herself, and the police just came and just snatched her up and told her she had to leave. And she went to court, she's told me when I saw her recently. She said to me, yes, that ticket for $500 was upheld. I said, in court? She said, yes. And I got kicked out the meeting, but I was so glad I didn't say anything. The policeman asked me once for me to leave because I was trying to keep the lady next to me calm because she was about to cuss them all out. They told me I had to leave. I said, fine. This ain't worth it. Oh, she's the worst. I'll be posting commentary tomorrow. Okay, I'll definitely look for it. Is Kamal going to stay with her when the bag is gone? Oh, we shall see. Oh, your mouth makes her the worst. Yes. You are officially invited to my show, WVON, to discuss the other mayors who should be removed. Yes, because remember, and I'm only saying this because I've seen it for myself. I seen Mayor Chris Clark in the meetings in Harvey, and they just like the police. They look, they like give you like, what's the word they use when they profile you? They profile when you go in these meetings. And I watched one policeman do that. And he see you do one thing, he kick you out. And he kicked they took the alderman to jail. I'm telling you, you got to read up on Harvey. I kid you not. I said to myself, I'm done going to Harvey's city council meetings. Because I don't really want to be going to jail. I don't have time for that. And if you're a resident, not to get off the Tiffany, if you are a resident of Harvey, you go to the meetings, this is a public function forum. If you pull your camera out, you have to sit in the back with the media. If they see you pull your camera out, they're going to say, you have to leave the meeting. I said, y'all can have this. Y'all playing games. You don't get a ticket on my show. I appreciate it, David Seaton. Hey, everybody give David Seaton a round of applause because we definitely appreciate your show. We appreciate you putting WVON back on the map to make it like it always was. WVON is the voice of the community. Now we can really say that again. You put the stamp on it. Harvey is next. Check it out.
Trustee Kiana Belcher and Trustee Stephanie Wiedemann, thank both of you for coming on today. I do not envy either of you and the enormity of what it is that you're trying to navigate right now. But again, let me just say the final thing to everyone who's out there who's listening: politics is local.
Facts.
We spend so much time talking about Donald Trump and what do we think he's going to do and this and this and that. But I guarantee you, the residents of Dolton have been far more impacted negatively by Mayor Tiffany Henyard than any president.
Facts.
Please believe me, and that goes for the residents of the village of Thornton as well. Ladies, I see Dr. Nikita is back on the line, so I'm going to let both of you go. I'm going to reach out to both of you also before.
And remember with Dolton, and I say this over and over again because it is mind blowing to me how. Oh, I mean, so I should have stopped it. It's mind blowing to me how Dolton, they're already in a deficit, but they also have that $33.5 million hanging over their heads. Go figure that. I like how David Seaton broke that down for one portion of like how much the people will have to pay per person. Could you imagine adding that cost plus the water cost that they had diverted some money from the water bill to go to someplace else? The city of Dolton is it's gonna take them at least years to come out this hole. Because she has really put them in a horrible place. And it was already in a bad place. She made it worse. Let me hit that button.
As mayor, and I want to do everything I can to help both of you and continue, help you bolster your success as well. So thank you both for coming on today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
We will talk again soon.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
You
All right,
too.
bye-bye.
All right. We've got, let me pick up Nikita. Dr. Nikita, are you there?
I am here. Wow, that was an amazing conversation.
I thought you were calling back with some more tea or some more breaking news.
Every time we talk, I got the tea, but now
I got the tea.
I know that's your word. That's what I don't want nobody to think I'm stealing somebody else's phrase. But I know that's your go-to. So no, I appreciate you again. I appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you bringing on Tiffany and hearing the story of she and her husband, of her and her husband opening up that St. Patrick's. Somebody put earlier in the chat that they were going to fly back into Dolton to go to that restaurant. So
and listen, you will not be disappointed. I had an opportunity to taste some of the food.
Okay.
And it was a sneak preview because they're not open yet. But when I tell you their food is good, food is good. The seasoned, yes.
Let's do this, Dr. Nikita. I just told both of the trustees early voting starts on February 10th for the village of Dolton, and then they're going to be voting for the village supervisor. That's going to be in April. Let's make sure we get back together, and I want to do everything that I can to make sure Tiffany Henyard does not get reelected in village. And I think you agree with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it done.
I will be in touch.
All right. Thank you, David.
Yes, David Seaton, we appreciate your interview today. And one thing I think that's really missing, and because we are have these small towns and what have you, that we don't know what the other person who's running for, what are they standing for? What are they going to do? All we know that, yes, I'm going to run for this position. But we never really hear, especially in these little small towns and cities and what have you. You never hear what is their purpose. And even and I know in Harvey when they was running for Christopher Clark, they tried to do that, but the candidates did not want to get together and do that. And that's the problem, because as long as things are not being said, it's going to keep going on. And we appreciate, again, we look forward for Mr. David Seaton to have more interesting and challenging people to think before we vote. And I must admit, I was one of those people, I go to the vote, I go to the poll, I'm going to go vote, but really didn't understand, what am I voting for? I'm voting because my grandmother said, you have the right to vote and you need to go vote. So that's what I have always done. I go vote. I said, oh, that name looked familiar. That name looked familiar. But I never understood or took the time to figure out who is the person behind the name. And I think that's what a lot of younger people who are voting ages need to do, and to really do need to get involved in their community in the election. Because a lot of them are aware of election, but I'm not sure if why they don't vote as what they should. Because the seniors, they gonna come out and vote, baby. Let me tell you. I remember when it was Carter, I asked my grandmother who was she gonna vote for. And she said, you never ask no one who you gonna vote for. I said, okay. Don't vote for color. Hey, listen, vote for policy. And that's the problem. If we don't know the policy, we gonna vote for the color. And listen, and in the grand scheme of things is that because of Tiffany, she makes it where everybody needs to be more aware on what's going on in a local election and local community and a local school districts. Because if we don't, we'll continue to have this same roller coaster. It may not be this election, might be the next election. Because you know how interesting it is that money's motivating that Thornton Township job. That's what I think. But like David Woke Johnson, that was really irritating to me because I've had family who lived in Chicago whose son had passed away for gun violence. And I'm like, you take the shot spotters away. How does that help our community? And a lot of this stuff they're doing is so selfishly. It's selfish. A lot of this stuff is very selfish. It's about who you know, who your friends are, and that's where your money going. How you gonna get that money? But Tiffany's gonna go to jail. I mean, because she's gonna go to the clink clink, and that's because she talked too much. Most of the people who don't, if you know, the people who ain't talking too much, they doing their stuff. They in the news, but because they don't do a whole lot of talking, they don't get messed with. So, well, what time is? I got to go, y'all. It's 1:00 in the morning. Yeah, he said, I will not stand for our people taking advantage of our people. Thank you. You seem like you're going to be the next mayor, alderman, or something one day. Change the narrative. Why don't you? They ain't motivated. I think they are motivated. But I think they just need to know why they're doing it. I always knew because my grandmother told me that I'm supposed to vote. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. We got to change, or if not, we're going to always be the same. Hey, first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you all who has come out today. I just want to thank each and one of y'all who came out today to talk. We did his review today of the WVON. We had Mr. David Seaton in the chat, and we thank him for coming out with us today. And with that being said, it's Sunday morning. It's time for me to go to bed. You see, my eyes are red. Yeah, I know. Good morning as well, Manisha. Well, I'm not going to hold you. I'm glad you all came. Again, as always, I appreciate you coming. I don't take your time for granted. And I want to say thank you. So, on that note, good night. And I shall see you tomorrow. See you, Manisha, Lisa Lee, and David, and everyone in the chat, and even in the bushes. Later.